Hello, I'm Tim Dumbleton, Digital Inclusion Project Manager from Orbit Group. I just wanted to take a few minutes to introduce you to the Connected Housing Initiative, which is a new group that has formed from discussions over the past year. And also just to add, I'm not currently the chair of it, although I am an avid supporter. Okay, I'll go into the background about the Connected Housing Initiative in a moment. But just really to link it through to some of the issues and the barriers that Emma was talking about, the initiative has been developed and formed out of discussions around some of the things that we want to address. For example, around housing associations being able to provide part of the solution, but we can't do it all. So we need to collaborate, we need to cooperate, and we need to look at the bigger picture. So that's very much what the initiative is about. We're also very much about interfacing with the technology industry as well, because we need that part of the puzzle. We need solutions that are appropriate for our customers in social housing, and to make sure that it's fit for purpose and that it supports some of the digital skills and the digital champions approaches that Emma talked about. So the Connected Housing Initiative, as I say, it's developed over the past year from various discussions and events. At the moment we have 12 housing association members. You can see the list there. It's currently chaired between Sarah at Sovereign and Ed at Viridian. We also have a number of non-housing association members. The Greater London Authority has been great help in hosting a recent event, but just to say that it's not a London-focused group. It goes across the whole country. So, for example, at Orbit Group, we have housing, right from Warwickshire right over to Norfolk, down to Margate. So it's important for us that we look at all of our customers' situations. Obviously, Digital Unite has been a great supporter as well. Just also to add that the National Housing Federation and the Government Digital Service have also been involved as well and have been very helpful. So just to highlight that point that Emma made about working together and the benefits of collaboration, between the 12 of us, 12 housing association members at the moment, we estimate that between us have stock of around 400,000 homes, plus over 30,000 in the development pipeline. For the data that we have available, depending on the area and depending on the housing association, we have between 20 and 40% of our residents are not online, which as an average is around 115,000 of that 400,000 figure. So that's still a significant issue, and we need to work together to address that. Between us, we estimate that we've trained and supported around 5,000 residents, and obviously we want to increase that. Again, looking at it individually, we all have, we're making those small dents ourselves, but we think we can do more by working together. We also have commitments to invest between us in the region of £1.5 million over the coming years in digital inclusion activities. So again, individually, those may be smaller pots of money, but together it starts to look like quite a significant investment. And also, between us, we have around 25 years experience and expertise in various digital inclusion initiatives. I think it's worth saying that obviously some of us are new to the housing sector, others have worked in the housing sector for a long time, and between us we bring different things. Digital inclusion has been addressed in other sectors, such as local authority sector for a while, so it's important we learn from different areas as well. How the group developed, as I say, linking back to a number of things that Emma spoke about. The first one is events like this. Over the past 2 years, a lot of us have come along to these events. We've talked to suppliers, we've talked to each other, and some of the same issues often come up, particularly around affordability and flexibility of internet access. Again, it's not the be-all and end-all, of providing internet access or enabling people to get online in the first place, that engagement and the skill support is absolutely essential, but it's a key part of the puzzle, and we need to have that as part of the solution. The E Street Big Lottery bid, although unfortunately the bid itself was unsuccessful, it was a huge catalyst for bringing together lots of housing associations, and the Connected House Initiative has really developed out of that. In March this year, Digital Unite supported us in having a cross-sector discussion group with BT, who obviously are a major player in the connectivity area. And that was very useful. It was great for all of us to speak kind of with one voice to one of the major players in the area. Around the summer of this year, we formed the Connected Housing Initiative, and we held our first meetings. And at the start, it was about sharing information, but also developing a statement of what our view is of the shared business case for digital inclusion across the housing sector, and I'll come back to that in a moment. And then in September, we hosted our first major event at City Hall in London, and this was a supplier engagement day, and we were really pleased with the turnout. I think we had over 60 attendees, lots of discussion, a good mix of housing associations, other industry representatives, and also a lot of representatives from suppliers of all sizes. And there were some really interesting discussions and question sessions afterwards. So I mentioned that a key activity that the group has taken forward is developing a sort of an outline business case about why working together and collaborating across the sector makes sense both for housing associations, but also it can make more sense to suppliers as well, who may up till now have been engaging with us separately, having perhaps the same conversation with individual housing associations, whereas together we can maybe make more of a difference and also help suppliers understand our customers' needs better. So we've developed a paper which is available online from the Meridian website. You can see the short link there below, and I'd encourage you all to have a look at that. It first of all identifies three barriers to access. So the first one is around connectivity. So it's very difficult to take that initial engagement with someone and helping them with their digital skills if they can't take the next crucial step of being able to get online and actually do things for themselves. So it's important that wherever you may live, that there's a viable connectivity option for you. And obviously, for Orbit, we have housing in Norfolk in areas where fixed line broadband is a real struggle. So obviously it's something that we're keenly aware of as well. The next area is affordability. We need internet access, whether it's broadband or whether it's mobile, to be at a price that people can afford and can sustain. This has been a really key barrier, and obviously we're very keen to talk to different suppliers about innovative ways that can be addressed. And finally, sustainability. We know at the moment, for example, that there are lots of good offers in the commercial broadband marketplace. However, those may only be for 6 months. You've got your line rental on top of that, and at the end of that offer period, you can actually have quite a steep slope of payments increasing. We also want to help suppliers understand things around our customers' context, such as what happens around poor credit rating scores, which can affect a significant proportion of our customers, where they need flexibility in terms of agreements, where people can't commit to 18 or 24-month agreements. So all of these things are things that we want to work with the industry to develop the right approaches that meet our customers' needs. And just looking across the whole of the housing sector, as I say, at the moment, the Connected Housing Initiative is made up of 12 housing associations, but if we look across the whole of the sector, we're looking at around 5 million households, 1,700 housing associations, approximately 1.3 million people not online in the social housing sector. And across all of this, there's different circumstances, there's different contexts, so we need to avoid a one-size-fits-all approach. So So just to summarise the next steps that we're starting to focus on, we've started running some individual supplier sessions following on from the industry engagement event at City Hall in September. So we're starting to talk to individual suppliers. It's a very open invitation, but we want to understand more about their business models, what they need to have a viable and sustainable business, and equally we want to help them understand the context of the social housing sector. We're looking at ways that we could maybe help suppliers with soft market testing, so maybe engaging them with some of our customers who are willing to try out different products and services. So it's a kind of, try before you buy, that we make sure that services are appropriate, before they're more widely promoted. We're also looking at how we develop the Connected Housing Initiative itself. At the moment we have 12 members. It'd be great to have more, I think. But we need to look carefully at things like how do we sustainably grow and manage that? How do we make sure that we have representation across the huge number of housing associations and the different regions that are within that? So finally, just to say, if you're here from a housing association, I'm around here all day, and if you have any questions, it'd be great to talk to you. So for housing associations, I'd like to know, how does this link with the aims and issues? Are these barriers that you recognise? And how do you think that a group like this could develop? And for suppliers in the room today, do you have an offer that you'd like feedback on, that you think that the initiative might be able to help with? And also we want to understand what's important for you in delivering a viable and sustainable business. Because again, we have, there's no point in us coming up with options and requirements that are just not sustainable. Finally, if you want to get in touch, we've got our email address there. I think later on we should be able to share, if we've got everyone's email addresses, we do have an online form on the Digital Unite website, and I think if we can share that link around, you can express an interest in getting further information that way as well. Thank you very much.